Our first speaker is Kay Sandberg, and she is with Global Force for Healing, and she is going to present from Zoom. And so I want you to welcome Kay. And Kay, I hope you can start with a little bit about yourself, and we will let you share your screen.
Thank you, Janice. Hello, everybody. I regret that I can't be there in person. That would just be so much fun. I want to congratulate the Haiti Symposium for 10 years in existence. That is a Herculean effort. Believe me, I know, because Global Force for Healing, a U.S. founded 501c3, and I happen to be the founder, was also started 10 years ago. And our 4 Haitian partners, 3 of whom I believe are here today, maybe all 4, are just an absolutely key component of the success of our network, which I will be talking about in just a moment. Yes, so I am calling in from Ashland, Oregon, where I live, and I'm very grateful to be with all of you today. I'm going to start my timer because once I get talking about my favorite subject, I lose all sense of time. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, well, thank you very much, Jessica and Janice, and I think then we'll have to ask you to please advance the slides. Okay, so let's go to the next one, please. So our Compassionate Birth Network partners, all grassroots community-led organizations, are in 12 countries currently, 16 partners, with 4 in Haiti. Next slide, please. So our common vision, not just for Global Force for Healing, this was our vision from the beginning of our organization, and the network is a result of that vision, or a manifestation. We envision a world where all families have access to quality, person-centered care, regardless of where they live or their financial status. In this world, all babies are welcomed with love, all mothers are treated with respect and compassion, and all communities are supported to thrive. So Haiti is the only country where we have 4 partners, and it's such a joy to be in Haiti and to be in the presence of these awesome organizations, many of whom have been around longer than we have. So from left to right, Maison de Naissance, Mama Baby Haiti, Midwives for Haiti, and Hispaniola Health Partners. And several of you are here today. Thank you. Next slide. So the collective impact of the network, and this is really a result of thanks to network partners over the years. So this is something the Global Force for Healing and helping build capacity, technical assistance, some fundraising has been a part of, but really these outcomes are thanks to the network partners individually and collectively. So we're very proud that in the entire network, there are virtually no maternal deaths that have happened, at least in the midwifery centers, birth centers, and mobile clinics that are operated by partners. There's also been a dramatic reduction in newborn deaths, especially compared to each country's national mortality rate for newborns. Thousands of birth workers have been trained in respectful quality care and so much more, clinical skills, etc. And the network, in the 8 or 9 years that the network has existed, we've witnessed a dramatic expansion of the number and also the quality of locally run birth centers. And I believe without exception, they are based on a midwifery model of care, and typically, whenever possible, they've have a relationship with a tertiary care or a local clinic for emergencies. Significantly improve well-being. You cannot do this wonderful work in community without having a spillover, a wonderful spillover effect on the community well-being, and everything from strengthening the existing health clinics to ensuring clean water, etc. And empowered local leadership, which translates often as education of women and girls, continuing education, we call it in the United States, with the intention of fulfilling the human rights commitment to women and girls. This is a global commitment to voice and choice. Those are our words, but to ensure that all women and girls have the opportunity to have the birth they want, to decide when and where to birth, to the extent that that's physically possible. And we know the limitations, and these are all mostly very remote locations and financially underfunded or underserved overall. Thank you, Jessica. Next one. So what is the secret sauce? I'm going to save the last ingredient for the end, but basically frequent enough communication within the network, the CBN, and gatherings. Before COVID, we actually met at least once a year for whatever number of partners could make it. Relevant content, we, for the last probably 5 years or more, have had rotating planning committees and have done an annual survey of what content, for example, as health workers, birth workers, how do we support women survivors of sexual violence, especially during the birth process? Or next week's program is on maternal mental health and postpartum depression. So the focus is on how can we as practitioners and the organizations that support those practitioners provide education and learning for the network. As I mentioned, Global Force for Healing is established to provide capacity building. And so part of the secret sauce is that individual nurturing that we've had the privilege of doing, along with, very importantly, sharing of expertise within the network. And I've got a few examples on the next slide, and we have Jim Grant, who's going to be giving a participant perspective in a moment. So I'll say also that the level playing field means that we share the common goal of the vision that I articulated in the beginning. And a lot of the challenges, the same challenges, regardless of size of budget, organizational staff, etc. And that was one of the main purposes of founding the network in the first place, so that we could really attend to address common challenges and goals in a more effective way than individual programs could do. Opportunities to collaborate on joint projects and funding proposals. I'll give an example in a second about that. We've got some wonderful joint projects that if we had more time, I'd love to tell you about. And then the open sharing of resources and the models of care. And the purpose of that, of founding the network, was to help partners save time, improve quality. Next slide, please. Okay, some examples of collaboration before I turn it over to Jim for the case in point. In June of this year, we were the lead organization, and 5 partners, 2 of whom are from Haiti, including Maison de Naissance and Midwives for Haiti, submitted a $10 million grant award application to the MacArthur Foundation. It's premature to know whether we're in the top 5 finalists, let alone the winner of this, so to speak. But the effect of being able to collaborate on a joint application was absolutely, that was the prize as far as I'm concerned. I mean, that $10 million would be nice too, but you know, the intrinsic value of collaborating for a joint goal with a very tight timeline, frankly, was a real honor for Global Force to host. So the shared curriculum that we ask each partner that develops curriculum, regardless of the topic, training community health workers, or in this case, the paternity clinic project, was actually devised by Cameroon Agenda for Sustainable Development, our partner in Cameroon, with funding from Global Force for Healing, to empower dads to be more attentive to and supportive of both their partners through pregnancy and birth, and also to have the skills to be better dads. So shared models and methods, another example of network collaboration, the secret sauce, is our cervical cancer prevention initiative. And Louise Lindenmeyer and several of our Haiti partners really have been deeply involved in not only sharing their models, but in sharing them with partners. For example, we thanks to Louise and Aaron, one of her board members, that's from Hispaniola Health Partners, and another CNM, certified nurse midwife. We did the cervical cancer prevention program, trained 14 midwives, nurses, and doctors in Chiapas, Mexico, southern Mexico, in May. Disaster response comes with the territory, as you all know, because you are experts in Haiti, and that's true around the world. More than half of our partners have, by necessity, been involved in disaster response and recovery, sometimes as first responders for mothers and babies because of climate-related disasters and also humanitarian crises. So a case in point is August 2021, the earthquake in Southwest Haiti, which again, I know you all have a lot of context for. And I am going to turn it over to Jim Grant, who is with you in person. From Jim, if you could take the mic and just share for a few minutes, and we've got a couple slides, Jessica, to go with it. What was the experience as ED of one of our Haiti partners of Global Forces and the rest of the network's support for the Haiti earthquake?
I can't see slides from here, but
okay, Jessica, would you go there we go. Thanks, Jessica. Okay, Jim. So the slide that's up right now, it says Compassionate Birth Network, mobilizing people and resources in disasters and emergency. And it's the tent that you folks had outside.
Yes, so this was immediately after the August 21 earthquake in Southwest Haiti, which was actually not just devastating for that region as a whole, but for our campus specifically. We had significant damage across the entire campus. Our main building, in fact, was closed for almost 6 months after that earthquake. It didn't collapse, but it was badly damaged and was considered unsafe to operate in. And so through the Compassionate Birth Network partners, we were able to get our hands on many of the supplies and in fact, personnel that we needed to get through that disaster. Midwives for Haiti, who is one of our members of the Compassionate Birth Network, sent down relief midwives in, I think it was 3 waves, where they would come for a month at a time and then go back, and a new group came down for a month, and then the third time another group came for a month. And what that did was it enabled our staff to deal with the impact that this disaster had on their personal lives. I mean, they had their homes destroyed or badly damaged. They lost a lot of resources, gardens that were wiped out, livestock that were lost, you name it. There were many things that they had to deal with, including just the trauma of this event. And so having these relief midwives on site to take over a large part of the burden of running a midwifery center made a huge difference for us. But it's a two-way partnership too, as I think Kay mentioned. Over the years that we've been members of the Compassionate Birth Network, and especially in times of disaster, if one of the partners learns through another resource of, a partnership that might benefit all of us, or access to a possible funding, as Kay talked about with this grant application that's hosted by the MacArthur Foundation. We share it with everyone. It's not a matter of, wow, I found this great resource, I'm going to keep it for myself, even though sometimes that is tempting. But no, we all share, because in the end, we all benefit from it. And it's made us actually a lot more sustainable over the years. For us in particular, this has made a big difference since Hurricane Matthew, because Hurricane Matthew in 2016 came at a time when these networks were not that firmly established in Haiti. They existed, but there were not a lot of memberships, and many people learned from that experience. And so we started collaborating on our own, and then discovering that there are these networks that we could belong to. You're going to hear about another one next from Barbara Campbell, which is the Haiti Health Network. These are, I think, one of the strongest tools that we have to work with to make our operations successful and sustainable. And without them, the process of just operating day to day, let alone recovering from a disaster like the 21 earthquake, is much more difficult, because you're doing it on your own. And as all of you probably know, in a situation like that, it's nearly impossible to do things yourself. Most of us are small organizations, not large organizations. So it has been a tremendous benefit to us to belong to the Compassionate Earth Network. And we feel like our partnership in that network also has benefited others, because, as I say, we all share when we have things that will benefit the entire group.
Thank you so much, Jim. Do you want to say anything in wrapping up about this slide? And I see that Jane Drichta, the Executive Director of Midwives for Haiti, is with us today. Yeah.
And this slide is, a new slide?
Yeah, sorry. It says Haiti post-earthquake, exemplifying the spirit of network collaboration and compassionate care. And it's your midwives interspersed with the Midwives for Haiti cadre that was there at the time.
Oh, yes. Well, what I'll say, I mean, I've talked about that a little bit already, but what I will say is, going forward, I mean, we got through this disaster. We, as an organization ourselves, did fully recover from the earthquake. Our campus was rebuilt, but the community around us was devastated. This is a very rural area, and we continue to support the community as much as we can, even though that's not really it's not really part of our operational theater to do relief work. But we feel like we have no choice, because if we're not helping these people, no one's helping them, because it's hard to get major relief organizations to work in an area where the population is so dispersed. They've in fact told me very pointedly that they have to look at their return on investment when it comes to relief work. How many people can they help within one geographic area with a certain amount of money? And if the people are scattered over a wide area, they basically just say it's not worth the expense for them to go in and try to provide relief in that type of situation. And so it falls to the organizations who operate there on the ground 24/7 the way we do. And again, this is only possible because we have the support of these networks that we're a part of.
Thank you, Jim.
Their resources.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. And that included financial contributions from at least one of the partners. And Global Force, we are a mouthpiece. We have the megaphone, so to speak, to get the word out and encourage donations, all other kinds of support, logistical support. So thank you so much, Jim. Let's do the final slide, Jessica, before we open up the mic, so to speak, for Q&A. So the real secret ingredient is the love nutrient. One of our partners coined that term many, many years ago. And it may be self-obvious for those of you involved in birth, whether you're birthing babies yourself or catching babies, is that we believe that if love is present, not just within the birth room, but also within organizations and across organizations in our network, for example, and any network I've been a part of, when asked what is the real secret ingredient, people, the word LOVE, love, doesn't necessarily come to mind, but they embody it. And that's true of every practitioner in our network, every ED, etc. So I really want to highlight the love nutrient, the role that, and our tagline, by the way, Global Force for Healing's tagline is love is the force. So we believe it's not only the secret ingredient, but the force that propels all of us to make Herculean efforts, whether it's, disaster relief or feeding people day to day. So thank you very much for your presentation. This is our URL. Thanks to Jim for being there, both for that wonderful example and also because we have brochures now and my card on one of the display tables if you'd like to take them. Here's my email address if not, and this is our IRS designation. So thanks, Jessica, for running the slides, and just let me know how Q&A will work and we'll go from there.
So Jessica, if there's any questions from online, or Jessica's going to try and do both. So she'll pass the mic, and then if she'll read any online questions as well. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you for your presentation, Kay, and enjoyed hearing about your program. One of the issues we face in Haiti are young women who've had 2 or 3 children. They're in their teens and they're asking about birth control. Would you mind commenting a little bit on what your thoughts are on this and how you plan on moving ahead?
Yes, thank you. And I'm not sure who asked that question.
That was Dr. Ted.
Oh, Dr.
Higgins.
Ted. Okay.
I'm Dr. Ted Higgins. I'm a surgeon. So, we face this issue at our surgical center over in the eastern part of Haiti, in Font-Précien.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Well, we have very few requests from Global Force for Healing for each network partner. One of them is that they provide it in a culturally appropriate, sensitive way, family planning, counseling, advice, support, including the actual contraceptive device or whatever the woman, again, or girl with the theme of voice and choice decides, to make that possible for them. So we are a strong advocate for making family planning available around the world, and we know not only in Haiti but elsewhere that we have a long way to go to provide that. So I think that all of our network would agree that plus educating women and girls are essential to actually being able to support the children that are with us now. I hope that helps. Good question.
Hi, this is Ann Harbin. I have a question too about outcomes. Over the past 10 years, have you tracked any kind of improvement in outcomes due to your work in Haiti? Like, I don't know, the improvement in APGAR scores. I'm not medical at all, but any kind of statistics with respect to your success?
Well, we actually leave that. That's a great question and very, very pertinent. We actually leave the measurement and evaluation up to each partner. And, I'm humbled by the question also because it's been very challenging to get a common denominator, so to speak, common measures and the stats on any kind of a regular basis from our partners, not necessarily just our Haitian partners. So I'm wondering if maybe Jane, I see Jane from Midwives for Haiti, Louise from Hispaniola Health Partners, I believe, is on. Patricia said very poor internet connectivity in Haiti, but Patricia Couch from Mama Baby Haiti is on, and then Jim in person. Would any of you like to to comment on that, because we hear anecdotally from each partner that maternal and newborn mortality have been reduced. That's our sort of bottom line, but I don't have a collective Haiti-wide number.
I can speak. Can you hear me?
Hi, Louise. Yeah.
It's Louise Lindenmeyer from Hispaniola Health Partners, and I'm happy to be here today. Thank you so much, everybody, for putting this together. We have a birth center that has just been constructed. It was finished in November of last year. And since about February of this year, we've started collecting a few data points to be able to see so we can find, a few measurables of our success. So we're really in the beginning of that. The data points involve parity, gravity, age of mom, weight of baby at birth, brachial circumference at 6 months, height of baby head circumference, things like that, how much prenatal care the mother had. And we're collecting about from 18 matouins who are traditional birth attendants who are part of our network and trained by us and monitored by us. Kind of every month we check in with their outcomes and their births, and we record all that and all of those stats, as well as about 7 births a month at our birth center. So we're kind of a small rural outlet in southeastern Haiti, pretty far from other support systems. And anyway, so we're just sort of beginning that, and it's we'll see how those things go over time. So thanks for asking. Always really important, but kind of a big bugaboo. It's challenging.
Thank you, Louise. Would anyone else, Jane, Patricia, or Jim, like to make a quick comment?
Yeah, I can chime in. Sorry I'm late. I'm kind of stranded in Fort Lauderdale trying to get into Haiti right now. So my life is a little bit complicated, but we record all of those stats as well that Louise was speaking of. We, just to familiarize you with our programming for the context, we run the maternal health wards at St. Therese Hospital in Inch. We also have 10 community clinics. We do matron training and check-ins as well. And then we're also constructing a rural birth center as we speak. Our maternal mortality has improved since 2016. And I was just writing a grant with this information, which is why I have it at the top of my head. Since 2016, our maternal mortality rate has gone down 2.6% at St. Therese Hospital. The fetal mortality rate is still around still sitting around 10-12%, which we'd love to work more on that. But one of the things that I'm really excited about is when we first started in 2006 in Plateau Central, there was about 90% of women were giving birth outside of facilities. And now we've got that down to about 59%. So we consider that to be not just playing on our wonderful care that we give, but also the relationships that we've established with the matrons, that we've established with people in the communities to explain what we do and explain the advantages of having people that are trained attending your births. So that's something that we're quite proud of. But yeah, we do keep pretty robust statistical analysis, which I'm happy to share with anybody. If anybody would like to see our stats, you can certainly get in touch with me through the Midwives for Haiti website.
Thank you. That was Jane Drichta, Executive Director of Midwives for Haiti. And I want to say also that, our one of our first partners is now called Ikiyama Nukuri, Women as Keepers of the Forest or Guardians of the Forest, in a very, very remote location in the Ecuadorian Amazon. And that's how I got involved with this. And I'm mentioning them because it has been a. Whoops.
Okay.
Is it
just
time
want to
to
let you
wrap up?
No, I just want to let you know that we have 2 more questions here.
Oh, okay.
So,
Anyway,
yeah.
so they let me just finish that thought. Thank you, Janice. And then I looked at you and Jessica regarding when to cut off the questions or when I should complete. But the Ikiyama Nukuri has evolved over 15 years. I was one of their founding persons, so that now they are actually collecting statistics in a culture that traditionally did not acknowledge maternal or newborn death. That was a taboo subject. So everybody's in a different place, and you've heard from two of the best. So yes, what's the next question?
So this is Sean Miller with Homes from the Heart. Question on, I was looking through, and I apologize if you addressed this earlier. I got here a little bit late, but you talk about how your services are marked by compassion and commitment to mother's voice and choice in childbirth and reproductive health decisions. Do you provide abortion services as well?
So let me say that we are this is a network. We convene the network, and just to repeat something I said in the beginning, really our partners, including the partners you've heard from today, are autonomous. We provide guidance, but we provide no requirements, no dictatorial things about what people do. And as we know, abortion is illegal in Haiti. So it's a non-issue in Haiti. In countries where we work, where there isn't a national prohibition, if you will, of abortion, then again, it's up to the birth center. It happens, abortions, medical abortions, not surgical abortions, do happen in some of our partner cases, and not in many of them, because they are against the law in many countries. Thanks for your question.
Along the line of that, I'm just curious, as a surgeon, and we have a maternity center, and we do a fair number of C-sections. What is your rule or in your organization for women that come in for delivery and are unable to do so vaginally? Do you have an outlet for surgical care?
Absolutely. We have no rule. Again, that is really up to the discretion of the midwifery center, the hospital. What we strongly request, encourage, and whenever we can, provide technical assistance for and models for having a really good relationship with a hospital that can provide surgical care, including and especially C-sections. Absolutely. And that is true despite the incredible challenge of transportation, the challenge of financing, underwriting the cost of a C-section. But that I acknowledge and appreciate that that's really an essential part of having a complete birth program, if you will. I hope that answered your question.
Okay. Kay, thank you so much. We appreciate you and all those who added and had questions. We're going to move on to the next one. And Jessica, I don't think I can share anymore.
Thank you, Janice. Thank you, Jessica. And thanks to all of our partners who chimed in. Thanks for the questions.